Emefiele Buhari narrative is happening to almost everyone in this country. Welcome once again. We're counting down to the election in this country, and 11 days to the presidential election. Today is the 14th day, and on the 25th, on the 25th of February this year, Nigerians would go to the polls this month specifically, and would elect who preside over us and who is going to legislate on our behalf. I'm talking about the presidential and the National Assembly election, and on the 11th of March 2023, we'll have the gubernatorial and the state houses of assembly election, all things being equal. And you need to give a lot of credit to Professor Mahmood Yakubu, the chairman of INEC. He had consistently assured Nigerians that the agency is trying its best to make sure that nothing would shift the day of the election. Well, we're counting down, and the most especially is the fact that in 106 days' time, President Mahmoud Buhari will cease from being the president of Nigeria. That's on the 29th of May. Count it from now till then. It's just 106 days. So it's been tough. It's been difficult. It's been, from one issue to the other. We've had our own problems in the last 7.5 years, or let me say 7 years and, maybe 8 months or thereabout of President Muhammadu Buhari's presidency. But we've also had some really good wins as well, depending on what side of the divide, you're sitting on. Again, you look at the statistics that INEC released in respect to how the election would go on, and I'm talking about the covering the 176,846 polling units scattered across the 774 local governments in Nigeria. As it is now, we have over 84 million registered voters, and the demographics is very clear. The male with 44.4%, 44.4 million, that's 52.6% of the registered PVC, yes, registered voters, of course, and the male covering 39.5 million, that's 47.14 million for the registered voters. For the young people, which would certainly form the core of the conversation on the show today. The young people within the ages of 18 and 35 actually cover 51% of the registered voters for the PVC. That means out of the over 84 million people, 42 million people is that's like the 50% of it. That means we have almost 50 million. Let me say approximately 43 or 44 million young people registered to vote in this election, and they fall within the ages of 18 and 35. That's 51% of the registered voters. And if you also break it down further, the students covers about 22.3 million in the breakdown of the demography. So we have a huge young people, youth explosion in this election. And if you look at the excitement, if you look at the energy, if you look at the buzz, not just the social media buzz anyways, because I've always told people, if you think because the buzz is a candidate's buzz is on social media, the plus or minus is zero, he's not going to win an election. I think we're really ready for a tough time. And today on the show, I'll be speaking to Comrade OLUYI AKINTADE Tayo, is the president of the OODUA Youth Coalition. And on the show today, we look at 2023 and beyond. The kings or the pawns, what would the young people be? Now, this is a very sensitive conversation, because if you look at the statistics I just read now, young people within the ages of 18 and 35, that's what Nigeria constitutes as the youth category. 51% of the registered voters. That means they have over 40 million of the 84 million voters that INEC said. That means the young people will play a very key role in where this election will swing to. Out of those young people, about 22.3 million of them are students, and the Nigerian University Commission has said universities should close down from so and so day, so that students can go home and exercise their franchise. So it's a conversation that we really need to talk about, beyond just having your phone, beyond just tweeting and retweeting and talking and social networking and all of that. How would the young people eventually settle after this election? And when I mean this election, it's not just the presidential election now. It covers both the gubernatorial and the state houses of assembly election, basically. That means at the end of the day, we have a lot of young people that are also in this campaign. I remember there was a time I had, the APC House of Assembly candidate, the youngest candidate on the platform of the APC. She was just 26 years old from Ilorin. She joined us on the show, and then we looked at, how all of those young things those young people have gotten involved in politics. I know of the son of the former senator, that's late Senator Kashamu Burujis. I think it's about I think it's the youngest candidate across parties. We have in Labour Party in one of the southeastern states as well. We have the son of Senator Musili Obanikoro. Yes, Reps Ibrahim Obanikoro is in the House of Representatives, also going for second term. So we have a lot of young people that are in this election. Even look at the presidential candidate. The candidate of the Accord Party is the youngest of the presidential candidates, and he's been talking tough. So we have a situation where young people would decide, most likely decide, who would preside over this country, or probably who would govern their respective state as well. For states that have governors that are going for second term, like Lagos for instance, or your state for instance, some of those states, or states that they're having new governors coming into office. I mean, all of these narrative will most likely be decided by the young people because of the numbers that they have. So how would the young people end? I mean, where would they be when all of this whole election conversation is over? Would they be the kings? Meaning, would they decide who presides, who governs, who legislates, or they will be pawns? I mean, a lot of people have said, I remember Dr. Akade was saying yesterday that the young people are not ready, they're not fully committed to change and all of that. He talked about during the NSAS protest, people were drinking, people were, doing all sort of things. I mean, you look at the conversation, you look at the connection, you look at the responses, especially with the campaign structure of all of the presidential candidates. I've seen young people taking key roles in all of this narrative. The social media handler of the Labour Party presidential candidate is a very young guy. The official photographer of the APC presidential candidate is my friend. He's a very young guy. In fact, one of the youngest guy within the setup of the guys close enough to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I've seen Elijah. In fact, the youth leader of the PDP is less than 30. If you look at Dayo Israel, also the national youth leader of the APC, all of these young people are holding key positions, and I've seen a lot of young House of Assembly members too. In fact, one of the ladies that is aspiring to represent this Kusofe House of Assembly constituency on one of the political parties. I saw a poster, I got connected to them, and young people wanting to take the role of leadership, not just wanting to be at the ferry anymore. They want to be on the table. They want to dictate the future. They want to decide the future of this country. I mean, we've moved past the era where 67-year-old man will be the national youth leader of a political party. 69-year-old man will be the national youth leader of a political party. Now we have young national youth leaders that are taking charge of the presidential campaigns of their principal. I've seen that of Labour Party. I've seen that of NNPP. I've seen that of the APC, of course. I've seen that of the PDP as well. So these are the situations we find ourselves. Where would the young people end after this election? Would they be kings, or they will be pawns as usual? So Comrade OLUYI AKINTADE will join us very soon. I reached out, told me he's very close by. He's the president of the OODUA Youth Coalition, and then we look at the roles of the young people in this election. Let's put that aside while I wait for my guests to come through. Now, there's so much uncertainty everywhere. Nobody knows if the old naira note are still being accepted. Banks have closed. The banks are not even, in fact, public transporters are even rejecting the old notes. That's how crazy things have been right now. And one of the things that Nigerians have started asking is, why is the president not addressing the nation? Let us know. We're tired of listening to the Minister of Finance. We're tired of listening to Minister of Culture and Orientation. We're tired of listening to the CBN governor. Nigerians en masse voted for a president not to speak to him in proxy. In 2019, over 15 million people voted for President Muhammadu Buhari to return into office for a second term. none of these people voted for Mr. Godwin Emefiele of the CBN. None of them even voted for the ministers. So Nigerians want to know what exactly is going on. People are not collecting the old notes again. The new notes are not in circulation. Somebody made this soft joke earlier in the day that when the new note came out, we're complaining about the color, we're making a mess of the situation. I saw some really deplorable videos, and now people are trying to show that the Naira note is bad. Is this? I mean, very distasteful, you may say. But now you are not even seeing the new notes again. So it's only what you see that you even criticize. So it's exactly where we are right now. You go to the markets, nobody will take transfer from you. You go to the fuel stations, they don't take transfers from you. You go to some of the malls, the apps is even down. You can't even make transaction. You can't do anything on your phone, and there's no cash to spend. And we're counting down to the election. Today is the 14th day of February, and the election is on the 25th of February. And that means we have about 11 days to the presidential and the National Assembly election in this country. People are still queuing up to buy fuel. Even in fuel stations where there are no queues, you can't buy less than 300 naira. Even when you want to buy at that amount, there's no money. The filling stations will not collect transfer. They don't. And they don't want to go cashless. They'll tell you they don't trust the transfer if it's going to drop. Nobody understands what exactly is going on with the economy. And so my biggest worry is this: why is the CBN governor hell bent on enforcing this particular policy, even as against the injunction that the governors got from the biggest court in the land, that's the Supreme Court? It seems that injunction has been set aside by the power of the CBN governor, and now it's being said that the old notes are no longer valid. We don't know where we are. Mr. President's body language is not showing that he's against this policy, and people are beginning to ask questions. I know it's been tough. It's not just leaving anyone behind. I mean, some people will tell you, oh, we've not been going to work, we don't have money to move around. You can't blame them. So we're counting down to the election. And in the midst of all of this chaos, Nigerians would have the opportunity again to choose who is going to be their president. And the question is this: what mindset would Nigerians go to the polls with? What impression would Nigerians go to the polls with? Somebody said for the CBN to want to implement the Electoral Act as against talking about new notes is essential to curb vote buying and all of that. Hey, is that a misplacement of priorities? There are a lot of economic policies that needs to be looked into deeply in this country. I mean, the foreign exchange situation of this country is terrible. I was trying to make a purchase on Saturday or thereabout, and I figured out that on a particular transaction channel I can't do more than $20. And I'm asking, what would you buy with $20, for goodness sakes? We're not looking into that. We're not looking into how people's monies are disappearing from their account, their hard-earned monies. You just be with your phone and you just see a lot of withdrawals, unauthorized withdrawals from your account. The CBN is not doing that. And so I'm asking, what exactly is the reason why these old new Naira notes? I mean, it's a simple administrative policy. I've seen many countries, very recently United Kingdom, when the Queen died, they had to change the image on the pound and the other currency, and they changed it effortlessly, seamlessly, no controversy, no politicization of the policy. It went straight. But look at where we are right now, and the body language is very clear. You said you want to change it to fight vote buying, to fight kidnappings. We understand all of those positions, but the laws are made for the people are not made for the laws. So when a policy in a democratically elected government, in a democracy, when a policy is being brought up, it is supposed to be people friendly policies. It is supposed to be policies that would uplift the living standard of the people. It is supposed to be the policy that would improve the quality of life of the people. It is supposed to be a policy that would deliver dividends of democracy for the people. So if you think that because of maybe 10% of the population that are politicians, a system of government, this is not the military. So if a policy doesn't sit down well with the people, we're not saying the policy is bad. We're not saying there are no good things in the policy. You want to trace the ransom being collected by the bandit or the kidnappers, but videos have emerged. But even the kidnappers have these new notes with them. So if a policy is not giving the people the desired result, all you need to do is just to change it, because the policies are meant to uplift the living standard of the people, not to put them in perpetual pain. Now, people have money, they can't withdraw their monies. People work so hard, it's difficult getting money in this country. Now, it's even more difficult, the fact that you have to use money to buy money. Now, it's going to be more difficult, the fact that even when you want to use the money to buy the money will not be available. I mean, that's the irony of the state. It's Nigeria, it's democracy. So if we say that truly President Muhammadu Buhari had done enough in the past 7 years and 8 months or thereabout that he's been in office, he's going to be out of office in the next 106 days, by the way. If we say he's done enough, then what are the legacies that the president wants to leave behind? Security wise, we're not in the best of place. Infrastructure wise, we're not in the best of place. The roads are bad. I mean, economic wise, don't let us even go there. The fact that the naira, the purchasing power of the naira is at the lowest is one problem. Now the naira is not even available. It seems it's much easier, getting dollar in this country than getting naira itself, which is pretty. I mean, you ask yourself, if we're really moving into this election, what happens if this election goes on, which I really pray it does, and then the people that have little monies at home, don't you think is even going to aid this vote buying that we are trying to work against? Because I don't have money, I've not eaten for 2 days, and then election is on Saturday, I go to the polls and somebody is offering me as little as 200 or 500, and don't get me wrong, I am not encouraging vote buying. I'm just saying that if you look at everything around us, we're not ghosts. We're living in a real world. We're living in a system where, we have an economy that is supposed to be microeconomic driven. We're supposed to have small scale businesses that will stimulate the growth of the economy, that would help us to stabilize our GDP, that would help us to have some form of sanity in the economic system. But if you've crippled the medium scale, the small scale business, then it becomes difficult. People that literally live from hand to mouth, people that have businesses that the whole capital is not even up to 100,000, most of them are not banked. They don't go to the banks, they keep their monies at home. Some of them even have to use their profit to service the generator to sustain the business because there's no power. So you look at all of this scenario, and then we're preparing for an election, a major election. It's not a midterm election, it's not a gubernatorial, maybe one state or two state. It is the presidential election. That means all of the 36 states and the FCT would participate in this election. Expectedly, 84 million people, according to INEC, have registered, and we have 18 political parties. Male 44.4 million, female 39.5 million. The young people within the ages of 18 to 35, 51% of the registered voters. So where exactly are we going to? It's tough, it's difficult, but there's something I really appreciate about Nigerians. As much as one of my friends, Ponsan Fana, would always say that maybe that's what the government is taking advantage of. Nigerians have a very strong, resilient spirit. Like, we always know that, well, things may not go the way we want it, but we'll always find a way to survive. But how long can we survive this particular one? How long can we hold off to, not having money to spend? Not that you don't have money, but you don't have cash to spend. Now, the cashless policy that is being preached by this government doesn't look like it's going to take us anywhere, because the basic things that people need, the people offering those services are not collecting. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll get straight into the conversation. I'm still trying to connect to my guest. He's not joining us via phone, he's joining us physically. It's supposed to be with us live in the studio, maybe Lagos traffic. But I'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll get straight back into it. This is the station room on Mela 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Okpayemi. I forgot to mention my name, Okpayemi Akinde. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We just been looking at the situation of the country generally. We're counting down to the election, 11 days to the presidential and the National Assembly election in Nigeria. We're supposed to have the president of the OODUA Youth Coalition, Comrade OLUYI AKINTADE, join us, but he won't be joining us again. Probably would have to reschedule the interview for another day. We're really pressed for time, so we just go straight up into it. How much do we think the relevant agencies are ready for this election? INEC had told us over and over again that they're ready. The Inspector General of Police had also told us that they are ready for the election, and it seems relevant authorities just yesterday I was reading a piece by someone I really respect so much, and he was talking about the fact that Nigerians may not have the right energy for the election as against how we started off in the last 1 year. The turnout for the registration of the PVC, the responses that people have gotten, the large number of people that have gone to register, even the collection of the PVC, tremendous improvement in as against what we used to have. But you look at the whole economic situation right now. For instance, you said students should go back home so that they can participate in the election. Some of them don't even have transport fare to go back to their various homes. And you can't go to the park and tell the driver you want to make a transfer. Some of these drivers don't even have account numbers. They're not banked. So how prepared do you think the relevant agencies are going into this election? Secondly, Nigerians, basically, if you look at our mindset, we want to be in the right frame of mind so that we can make informed decisions. See, this is not about political affiliation. This is not about one person or one candidate. This is about the future of this country. This is about where we'll be in the next 4 years. This is about how we can get the best out of the potentials. I remember towards the end of the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan, it was on record that the economy was moving on a steady climb, one of the fastest growing economy in Africa, with the largest economy in Africa, by the way. But how do we get the best out of all of this situation? It means that we must get our leadership pattern right. We must choose the right president. We must choose the right governors. We must choose the right senators, the right reps members, the right House of Assembly members, people that would legislate on our behalf, people that would execute projects, make life easy for Nigerians. So if you want to make that decision, you must make that decision when you are in a very good and perfect frame of mind, not when you're hungry, not when you're starved, not when you're feeling insecure, not when you feel pressured. These are the things that could easily sway the minds of Nigerians into doing the wrong things during election. These are the reason why people could have voter apathy. People would not come out on their days to vote. People would make their decision like, I'm not going out, I'm not voting, I'm not doing anything. These are the things that need to be fixed. But we have just 11 days. We have 11 days to make sure that money gets into circulation. We have 11 days to make sure that petroleum products are available for Nigerians to buy. We have 11 days for Nigerians to be assured that at every single polling unit they will be secure, there will be security. We have 11 days to assure Nigerians that all of the beavers, the electoral transfer of result, everything is in the right frame of mind. Over the weekend, there was a mock election that was conducted in Abuja. And I followed it. Well, a mock election is that selected people, the beavers were used, electronic transfer of results were also used, just to test run how the main election would be. I followed it over the weekend in Abuja, but then I wasn't particularly impressed, especially with the number of people that came out. The turnout was low. It didn't it's a different ball game when the pressure of the election comes up, when results are coming in from Borno, results are coming in from Ebonyi, results are coming in from Abeokuta, results are coming in from Anambra State. The pressure pops up, so it's a little different. But I saw firsthand. Well, I wasn't there physically, but I followed it. Beavers worked. I saw how the people, the few people that came out organized themselves. I just feel, and I hope and I pray that with the words of Professor Mahmood Yakubu, Nigerians would have an election that they've always wanted. Don't get me wrong again. There's no perfect election anywhere. Everywhere around the world, there are elections that need amendments, even the United States democracy alongside the Indian democracy is supposed to be the model of the world. But look at what happened when former president Donald Trump lost his second term bid to the current president Joe Biden. All hell was almost let loose. They almost burned down the Capitol. So it's not that there's any perfect election anywhere, but people just want a semblance of something that is good enough, something that is logical enough, something that is defendable, something that is presentable, something that you would say 24 years of democracy from 1999 till now, we're making steady progress. We've gone past the fear of having our ballot boxes snatched, because if you snatch ballot box now and you're listening to me right now, you're a candidate, you're already thinking of boys that will snatch ballot box, you are making a mess of yourself. In fact, you're wasting the money you want to give them, because if you snatch ballot box, the highest you would do with the ballot box is to keep it in your bedroom. It won't count. So don't even make a mess of the whole system. We want a station whereby people will be able to say, yes, we had an election, it wasn't perfect, but there's a big improvement in it. We don't want a station whereby returning officers will say, oh, we declared this result under duress, or we were intimidated, we were bullied, or we had guns to our head, we were threatened. That's why we altered the figures. No, the beavers are available for us. 176,000 polling units across 774 local governments in Nigeria. INEC has assured us that nobody will be disenfranchised. Nobody will be denied the opportunity to choose who presides over them, who governs them, and who legislates on their behalf. Let's get the conversation going. 0913-600-0410 for calls, 0913-600-0430 for messages. Now we have two lines. 091-3600-0410 for calls only. 091-3600-0430. The same line, just 1030. That's the last two digits. One is 410, then the other one is 430. 430 for messages, 410 for calls. So let's get into it. 11 days to the presidential election in this country. And you're not just electing your president, you're also electing your National Assembly members, which I think over time have been so, how do I put it now, they've not been looked into. We don't scrutinize the lawmakers the way we scrutinize the executives. We want the governors to come and debate. We want the presidential candidates to come and debate. But nobody's even talking about senatorial debates. There are only 3 senators in every state, so it's not like it's a big deal. Why can't we engage our senators as well? Why can't we engage our National Assembly members as well? Why can't we allow them debate? They literally form the core of democracy in this country, because they make the laws that the executive would execute. Why do we continue to have rubber stamp legislators both at the state and at the national level? We should also engage our legislators, our lawmakers. We should ask them for debate. If you get into the house, are you just going to be comfortable with signing executive bills, or just becoming, the yeas have it, the nays have it? You just sit in the house and you get up, you collect your sitting allowance, you collect your constituency allowance if there's anything like that, then you collect your millions and then you go home and rest. These are the questions that we should ask our legislators. We shouldn't just focus on the presidency. We shouldn't just focus on the governors. We should be proactive enough so that we would know the people we are sending to the national assemblies. They are collecting money. They are not sitting there for free. They're not going there just for jamborees. They're not going there just to attend sittings and just carry the name senator or honorable member or distinguished senator or whatever. No, they are supposed to make laws that would help Nigerians, or that would help the executive to bring dividends of democracy to Nigerians. So we should also focus on our legislators so that we don't just continue to scrutinize the presidential candidate or the gubernatorial candidate. No, the legislators also have big roles to play in this system. I think they've just been able to hide under the presidential election for obvious reasons. The National Assembly elections are held on the same day with the presidential election, so people just overlook the National Assembly election and say, well, let's focus on the presidency. It's okay. Nobody's arguing that. We're just saying we need to start asking the right questions. We need to start, making sure that our legislators are also put in their place in respect to what they would do when they get to the red chamber or the green chamber. Let's get the conversation going. How ready do you think Nigerians are going into this election? 11 days from now, we'll go to the polls. Today is Tuesday. By this time next week, Saturday, I'm sure that some polling, units will have closed. It's already 4:33. Some polling units will have closed. Maybe people will have finished voting and all of that. Results must have been collating, sending down to the central server of INEC. We'll be able to monitor it from wherever we are and all of this. So these are the things that we need to talk about. So for me, it's really important how the right frame of minds that we go into the election with. It's very, very, very important. So talk to me. 0913-600-0410, 0913-600-0430. The first line is for calls and the second line is for text messages. We've got messages already. Keep your calls coming in. We'll pick it so that we can get straight up into it. The conversation today is how prepared are we going into this election as Nigerians? What mindset are we going into this election with? Have we been able to make informed decisions based on the manifestos, based on the campaigns, based on the one-on-one conversation we've had with these politicians, these candidates or the agents? Have we been able to from there make our informed decisions? Or perhaps, according to the polls, we still have a lot of us undecided who we want to vote for. So those are the things that you can join us to talk about today. Messages first. This one says, good evening all. Governor Emefiele does not mean well for Nigerians. The policy is good, but the implementation is bad. My name is Femi from Bagara. Okay, Femi from Bagara, thank you very much. Another message just dropped in and it says, good evening, Mainland FM. Please tell... Okay. I wish I can. Tell President Buhari, well, let me add President at the back for you. Tell President Buhari that Nigerians don't have food to eat, so we would not vote. Okay. I kind of expect this message. I've gotten a lot of messages like this in the last 2 weeks. People, wanting to stay off the voting process. You want voter apathy. By the way, that message came from Julius from Abule Egba. Thank you very much, Julius from Abule Egba. But let me quickly correct that thing. If you don't vote, you will get the exact type of leadership you don't want. It's very simple. You get the exact type of leadership that you don't want, the kind of leadership that will not bring the dividends of democracy that you want. So for whatever reasons, and I've said it again, all things being equal, if you have everything for you to vote, that means you have your PVC, is close to your polling unit is close to your house. You don't need to take public transports to get to the election place. You don't need to do all of that. You don't have any right not to vote. It's very simple. This is not something I'm being forceful about. This is not something I'm just saying that the only way we can make progress in this country is for us to get our leadership selection process right. When we choose the right people to make policies, when we choose the right people to legislate on our behalf, when we choose the right people to make laws, when we choose the right people to execute projects, when we choose the right people, to bring people-friendly policies, basic administrative policies that will be effectively, implemented, when we bring them on board, it's very simple. It is very, very simple. Things will go on smoothly. I mean, look at the countries around the world where things are working. Leadership is not rocket science. It's not something that is cast in stones. Every country has got their own unique way of leading their people. But the ultimate, the essence of everything is for the people to feel the impact of these leaders. And the only way we can feel the impact of these leaders if we choose the right leaders. There are no two ways about it. When we do the right things, we certainly get the right results. Like the regular adage that only fools do the right things, do the same thing the same way and expect a different result. If something is not working, the electoral system gives us the opportunity to change what we want to change. So it's very simple. If I make a wrong decision with the choice of governor that I picked, I would endure it for the next 4 years and I will change it. There can't be blood revolution in this country. I will say this over and over again. The only revolution we'll have is to use our PVC to throw out anybody that is not doing the things that we want in this country. That's the only way we can have it. Let me take a very quick break. Let me fix some technical issues here. I'll be right back. Okay, the phone lines are working now. 09136000410, 09136000410, in case you're trying to call in and the calls are not connecting. We're really having some challenges with the phone lines right now. Please, you can send in your messages so that I would read as much as I can read. Another one just came in now. Good evening. My name is Cecilia and I'm texting from Mushin. I was not able to pick up my PVC because I was in school. I'm schooling in Abia State University. I just came back to Lagos after the exam. Can we still pick up our PVC? Well, I don't know. Well, that's quite unfortunate. So, I think we talked about it yesterday morning on Ballot 23. Sandra, Said, Fuad, and myself. The students were at home during the strike. When they registered, they went back to school. During the PVC distribution, they were in school. When the PVC distribution ended, they had to come back home. So, what about those people that were unable to pick up their PVC? How would they vote? You just, you see some things and you just ask how all of these things are coming to, are really happening. Well, let's get back into it. I'm seeing the notification for the calls, but you can text us on 09136000430. 09136000430. You can also chat us up on WhatsApp on the same line, so that we can get the conversation up. You're still live on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos, and we've been looking at the countdown to the election. 11 days to the presidential and the National Assembly election. Are we really ready to go to the polls? How prepared are we mentally, economically? Even INEC is saying that most of the ad hoc staff they would use for the election, they are not banked. That means they will need cash to pay them for day-to-day activities. The hotels, they would lodge their staff, their ad hoc staff, the facilities, the transporters. They said they have 8,000 vehicles and almost 4,000 boats to move, sensitive and non-sensitive materials. And you would pay these people. And then, even petrol. Well, the NNPC PLC had assured INEC that all of the over 170 mega stations in Nigeria would have fuel for distribution for INEC for the purpose of the election. Beautiful. The CBN had also said that they will make cash available for INEC, no matter the amount of money they need. Amazing. But then Nigerians are the key players in this election. You and I, that we've got our PVC, we are the key players in this election. What mindset are we going into the election with? Are we really ready for this election? Are we prepared for the election beyond the assurances that we're getting from INEC and the Inspector General of Police? Are we really ready for this election? 09136000410. Now I see that the messages are coming in now, so maybe we just read a lot of messages today since the calls don't want to come through. This one says, good evening, I'm texting from Ayobo. Most of the leaders that we have don't have Nigerians at heart. They just want to get into office and steal our money. May God give us good leaders. Thank you. You didn't put your name, and you didn't put your name, but then I got your message. This one is Afiz Lawal, AIT Road, Alagbado, and it says, please, what is the consequences of not obeying court judgments like what Emefiele did? I advise the judiciary to go on strike. Okay. Afiz Lawal from AIT Road, Alagbado, please don't let the judiciary go on strike, please. Okay. This one says, my name is Festus from Maryland. Good evening. Well done. Thank you. Okay. at the end of this week, we would know if the election would go on or not. 11 days to the election, and Nigerians can't even have food to eat. For me, I'm voting for Peter Obi if we would vote today, top to bottom, Labour Party all the way. Thank you, Festus from Maryland. I got a message. Keep the messages coming in if you can't connect via the phone lines. But then the phone lines are still here, so you can keep trying. 0913 0430. Those are the lines you can use to join us on the show today. We're looking at the preparedness of Nigerians going into this particular election. Are we really ready for this election? Okay, another message just dropped in, and it says we're exactly a reflection. Okay, I bet you mean a reflection of the choice of leaders that we make. Why can't President Buhari sack Emefiele? Is it bigger than the law? Okay, I can't answer that. Well, Governor Emefiele was appointed by President Muhammadu Buhari, was appointed by former President Goodluck Jonathan, but it was retained by President Muhammadu Buhari. For probably the president feels, well, he can do, the president thinks he can, implement his policies and give economic advice that would help the station or the nation to be in a good situation. So it's really very not so good at the moment, but then we'll continue to be hopeful. 0913-600-0410. This is the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM at the Sound of Lagos. Okay, welcome back. If you're still live, if you're still listening right now, you're live on Mainland 98.3 FM, the Sound of Lagos, and this is the Situation Room. I will call this program basically for the election. We'll engage your candidates, we'll engage your party, everyone behind. I will have that on Monday and Sundays on Political Roundtable. We've got loads from Antonid Village. There are plans to disrupt this election on places that are neck handle that. Okay. Lasbury Kalio from Anthony Village. Well, I don't know about your allegations, but if you say that there are plans to disrupt the election in those places, if you have credible offices close by to you, and report it. That's if you have any legitimate backing to that particular one. If there are relevant authorities that such allegations can be reported to. Vote in 2020 vote. My name is Elder Samuel from Shomolu. Okay, Elder Samuel from Shomolu. I mean, you are very correct on your political decision. Nobody is going to stop you from voting for whatever candidate you choose to vote for. Okay, that is it. 0913-600-0410. Keep the conversation coming in. More messages. This one says, if President Muhammadu Buhari is serious about leaving any, but it should not be forced on us. Okay, that is Eric. Okay, maybe that's Pastor Eric, I don't know, but that one is coming in from Eric, just Eric. No name, no location, but I got your message, Eric. You think if President Muhammadu Buhari want to leave any legacy behind, he should sack the CBN governor. Well, administration of President Muhammadu Buhari would be up in 106 days, so maybe we just hold on to what we have till we're done. I mean, when the new president comes into the system, there's most certainly going to be some shake-ups there and there, and just like President Muhammadu Buhari retained the CBN governor after inheriting his appointment from the former President Goodluck Jonathan, maybe Just maybe. I don't know. 09136000410. The phone lines are really in a bad place today, so we'll have to make do with just text message. And I really appreciate everyone for dropping their text messages today. I know it must be really difficult trying to call in and we're not getting through. More messages coming in. This one says, my name is Ayola. I'm texting from Festac. From Lagos, I would vote for APC in Lagos, but okay, Ayola, okay, from Lagos I will vote for APC, but from Nigeria, okay, I will vote for Peter Obi of Labour Party. Okay, I guess what you mean is in Lagos we'd vote for the APC, that's Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to return into office, and then at the national level you would vote for the Labour Party candidates, that's Mr. Peter Obi. Okay, that's good. Believes it is your instincts. I wish you well with it, but thank you very much, Chika. Imagine Labour Party being attacked on Saturday by the APC in Lagos. Till now, no apologies or probe. I believe we choose the right much. I got a message, more messages coming in. This one says, this mess APC candidate has put. Thank you very much. Keep the messages coming in. It seems that's the easiest way out for you to join us on the show today. 09136000410. More messages. This one says, Nigerian leaders have turned us to slaves, even in our own country. Now we beg for food, we beg for money, we beg for everything. Make Buhari go, I beg. Okay, but then you have to vote, but the presidency, the seat of the president will not be empty. So if Buhari would leave in a little over 100 days, you have to vote someone else into office. So that's it, and the opportunity is for you again to, the decision is for you again to make, rather, in 11 days time, on the 25th of February to be precise. You have the opportunity to choose who is going to take over from President Muhammadu Buhari. Do we want to maintain the status quo with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or you want to bring in the former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, or you want to do the new Nigerian People's Party, that's the former governor of Kano State, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, or perhaps you want to vote for the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Gregory Peter Obi, or you want to vote for Kola Abiola of the People's Redemption Party, or Moyele Sowore of the African Action Alliance, or Adebayo of the Social Democratic Party. 18 of these candidates, and I've been privileged enough to watch the 18 of them. I mean, for those ones that have been media friendly enough, even I've listened to Mustafa, by the way. So I mean, everyone seems to have an idea on how to fix the problems of this country. So the choice is yours to make. For you to go to the polls, it's a secret ballot system, so nobody's going to bully you into voting a particular candidate. Nobody's going to intimidate you for voting a particular candidate. Nobody's going to threaten or blackmail you into voting any particular candidate whatsoever. You get into the cubicle, you make your political decision, you choose the future of this country for the next 4 years. I wish you well. Okay, this one is Dara from Fagba, and it says, I've foreseen that this government is a confusion, the government of waste, the waste for the waste. Since 2015 till now, nothing that this government promised has come to fulfillment. Okay, except for the Niger Bridge. Look at this CBN cashless policy. It's about the waste of time and money. It has brought hardship to the politicians, but the people, they turn the people to beggars on their own money. It's a sane country. This government will be removed. But what are we experiencing in this country is lack of capacity, incompetence, and that is it. We have seen the handwriting on the wall. Vote out the APC and the PDP in 2019 to have a new Nigeria. Labour Party is the way to go. Dio from Fagba, quite a long one, but thank you. I got a message. More messages coming in. This one says, my name is KM. Okay, my name is KM, and I'm texting from Charlie Boy Bagada. Okay, the Labour Party candidate is having the upper hand in this election, and that is why Buhari does not want the election to hold down. Now, KM, let's get the record straight. INEC had told us that the election would go on as originally planned, and we need to stick to that call from the electoral body. So President Mahmoud Buhari is not saying the election would not hold. He's not even going to make the announcement. It is the INEC chairman that would make the announcement if there's going to be any shift on the election date whatsoever. So let's stick to it. Let's be factual. Let's be detailed with whatever we're bringing out to the public. But Kim, thank you very much all the same. Thank you for calling. Thank you for trying to reach us on the show today. Thank you very much for your text messages. Unfortunately, we couldn't pick calls today on the show. We tried the best we can just to fix the call line, but well, it didn't work. But then the text messages came in. Now we have two lines, which is going to make the flow of conversation pretty interesting. 09136000410, that is the call lines, and 09136000430. That is actually the text messages and WhatsApp line, so that we can have good conversation. Well, thank you once again for joining us on the show today. My name is Okpeyemi AKINTADE. Tomorrow is Wednesday, 4 to 5:30 p.m. We'll be here on Ballot 23 and God Sparing Our Lives. It's going to be a very, very detailed show tomorrow evening. Said Fuad, myself, and Sandra would be here to give you breakdown. I mean, we're counting down to the election. Tomorrow is going to be just 10 days to the election, so we're counting down to the election. I would give you state by state, if time permits us. It's 90 minutes tomorrow, by the way. If time permits us, we'll be able to look into the breakdown of all of these states. We analyze the strength and the weaknesses of the candidates in all of these states, region by region, state by state, political parties by political parties. We look into all of this conversation, then we have projections as regards who may most likely get what in every of the states. So keep your dial locked on Milan 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. We've got you covered, full coverage of the 2023 election, 25th of February and 11th of March. Stay out of trouble, and don't forget, when you see something, you say something. Bye for now.